Okay, so this is the fourth video, and I believe it's going to be my last video for the Inventor Puzzle Cube Project Quiz Study Guide. All right, we're looking at questions 16 through 19. The first one is, what is the title block and what information goes into it? All right, the title block only appears in a drawing file. In a drawing file, this part right here, this down here, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit on it, is the drawing file. Or sorry, the whole thing is a drawing file. This is the title block of the drawing file. And you can see it says title in it. It has who drew it, that's me. It has the date it was drawn, the size of the paper, how many sheets are in this drawing file. And there's a lot more information that can go in here that we haven't gone over in class yet. But what you do need to know is that this is a title block and it appears only on drawing files. What I have highlighted here and that I'm moving around is the parts list. It is not to be confused with the title block. It is different. This is the parts list. This is for exploded views and for drawing files that have multiple parts, but the title block is on every single drawing. So if we go to a drawing like this that only has one part in it, it still has the title block, and the purpose of the title block is to give us information about the drawing. How many sheets are in the drawing, what size is the paper, what's the name of the part, who's drawn it, and more information that we haven't gone over yet. But what you do need to know, once again, is that that is the title block. It's on the drawing parts, or the drawing files, and it's always in the bottom right hand corner of those drawing files. All right, number 17, how many views are in a standard working drawing of a single part? Okay, this is a standard working drawing of a single part. Okay, we have one single part, it's a drawing file, and what I have here, I have placed 1, 2, 3, 4 different views. My top view, my front view, my side view, and my isometric view. This is an ANSI standard, okay? This is how we lay it out in America. This is the way that engineers lay out their part file drawings. So we have front, the top is right above it, go back to the front, then to the right side is to the right of it, and then in the top right hand corner we have our isometric view. It is always to be laid out like that. All right, number 18, what is the difference? What is different about the isometric view in the drawing than the orthographic? Okay, so just a little refresher on the vocab there. This view, and this view are orthographic or multi-view drawings. They are direct, straight-on views from the front, top, and side of the object. They are two-dimensional representations that together represent the 3D object. In the right-hand corner here, the one that is colored, this view, is the isometric picture. And obviously what's different about it compared to the orthographic is that it is shaded in, it is colored. And the way that we did that was by double-clicking on that red dotted line and clicking this shaded button and then clicking OK. So what is different about the isometric versus the orthographic views is that the isometric is shaded in. Number 19, what type of file do you make an exploded view in, and what type of file do you label the exploded view in? All right, this is an important question. It's got two different parts. What type of file do you make the exploded view in? If we go up to New and choose our presentation file, that's where we're actually going to take our assembly and automatically explode it out so that we get our exploded view. So an assembly, wow, that looks weird, but not a big deal. It's still an exploded view. You can see all my different parts are pulled apart. I think I put too many zeros in there, but not a big deal. This is an exploded view, okay? So we have our different parts and they're exploded out, and that is a presentation file, IPN. All right, the second part of that question was, what type of file do you label the exploded view in? So once you've saved this, and actually let me go back real quick, I don't like how far away that placed it. So I'm going to get my puzzle cube again, Oh, this is the problem. I'm in inches, so I'm going to change this to millimeters. Now it looks a little bit better. Let me move this so you can see all the pieces. And I'm going to tweak some of these components just to move them out a little bit further. Okay, so all of my pieces are shown in the exploded view here, and you can see all of them very clearly. This is the IPN file still. I'm going to save this, so file, save as, and I'm going to save it as my assembly exploded view. And now I can go in and create my drawing file. So drawing, I'm going to ANSI and I can place that base view of my exploded view right there. All right, so this is a drawing file. This is where we have our area where we can label it. This is where we're going to put our annotation and our balloons and make sure that we have all of the different parts labeled as what number they are, what color they are, and all the information that an engineer would need to have about these pieces. But it's important to know that this is the drawing file where we're labeling it, and this is the presentation file where we actually exploded it. The presentation file, we can also animate it so that we're moving it back together as a whole puzzle cube altogether. So presentation file, that's where we've exploded it by manually and with automatic features. And then the drawing files where we actually label it and we've got to put our parts list. Okay, that's all of our questions 1 through 19. It looks like we went over all of the vocab by answering these questions. So if you have questions about the vocab, rewatch the videos and listen for me talking about each of these words. We've been over this several times, but I'm going to go over it real quick. A part file, the extension is .ipt. The drawing file, the file extension is .idw. The assembly file, the file extension is .iam, and the presentation is .ipm. Part files are to make 3D parts in Inventor. Drawing files are to annotate, label, and describe those 3D parts. Assembly files are to combine multiple part files so that it shows how they go together. Presentation files are how you can show exploded views and animate multiple parts moving together.